Well, hello there and welcome back to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your tongue-tied host, Jesse Showalter, and we are kicking off our Wednesday design challenge. Hey, welcome everybody to Wednesday. You made it to the middle of the week. And we are on the second week, and that's good news. We're going to be doing some really fun stuff today. We got people jumping in the chat right now. Joshua Davis is in the house, Aaron Hunter, Sarah Sanchez. There's some familiar faces. People have been joining us every day, steadily, consistently, and submitting your challenges. Really, really proud of you guys. You've been doing a fantastic job. What are you guys doing this weekend? I'm going camping with my family. That is going to be the fun news. Howard Butcher's in the house saying hello, everybody. And we got Sam Peterson moderating the chat. Let me know where you're coming from and what has been your favorite challenge so far in this series of XD Daily Creative Challenges. I would love to know. So let me know that. And with all that being said, let's dive right in and let's figure out what's going on with everything. I'm just making sure the stream is all running good. Okay, everything should be pretty good. So with that being said, let's kick over to my screen. This is the XD Daily Creative Challenge, 9 challenges. And today we are on, oh my goodness, how many were we on? We're on 7, I think. Yep, we're on 7 today. And so we're gonna go to behance.net/challenge/XD. And it's really 4 steps. Each day you receive a challenge. You just scroll down and see it unlocked. Today we're gonna be doing a little bit of filtering, building a little travel application, a little travel experience, a website. Gonna be pretty fun. Join the community chat, not just the live chat that you're in right now, everybody. People in the live chat like Jay Swanson and Tom Larrick and Laura Steniva, all those fun fans and folks, but also jump over to our Discord that has over 36,000 creatives, the Adobe XD Discord. This is where you can submit your work, and I'll be reviewing some of this work after the end of the design stream today. There's also some fantastic design mentors, as well as myself, inside of the Discord who can comment and give you feedback. So that's a really fun thing to do as well. Then you're gonna watch the daily show, do the challenges, and submit them on Behance. Make sure you use the hashtag XD Daily Challenge when you submit your work there. That way we can find it. Joshua Davis says he's going to the beach this weekend. And Jay Swanson saying hello from Portland, Oregon. Well, speaking of Portland, Oregon, it has nothing to do with challenge number 7. Well, maybe it does. Maybe you could travel from wherever you're at to Portland, Oregon. There's a sweet segue. But like I said, we're on challenge number 7. And a little bit about our challenge. Design a filter experience for a travel website. Focus on making it easy for users to find what they're looking for. It's a really good user experience, filtering options. It's great functionality to design, but we want to design it really seamless, really, really smooth. Tom Larrick's from Miami Beach saying he's here with us. All right, very, very cool. Let me see. And as we're doing this design, let me know if you have any questions. Your starting file might look a little bit different than my starting file. I probably included some beginning assets, maybe some typography, but I've gone ahead and just whipped a few of those assets into a left sidebar. Okay, it's going to be our visual element, and then over here on the other, in this other blank space, is where we're going to start creating our user interface. Okay, so imagine this being like the landing page of your favorite travel website. And there's maybe some slides going off, beautiful imagery. We're building a little app called Vacay today, a little web application. And so far, all I've really done is masked this image with an overlay over it to give a little bit of a dark, kind of like transparent overlay, and put some typography in place. And I've made a button, created a component out of it and my logo. That's it. That's all I've done so far. So with that being said, let's start designing, okay? Aaron Hunter says, also in Portland, Oregon. Can't quite travel there, but hey, it is a cool place. Very cool. There's a lot of cool places out there that I haven't traveled to that I do want to get to. But let's start defining some of those places inside of our application. Let's bring over some text and let's make it dark. So we have dark text on a white background. I feel like that would be better. This is a place where people could discover maybe some places that they want to go. If you're new to Adobe XD, then what I'm doing is just using some of the basic tools like typography, changing it from area text to point text so it tracks the size. And then I can just grab my bottom handle and resize things just like that. That's pretty nice. I have, with a 2-column layout like this, a left panel and a right panel, you could try to use, I suppose, you could try to use like the layouts, and maybe we could do that. I could just take my kind of background here and I could bring it into alignment there. That's something I could do. And then that way I'd have some nice alignment tools here. to start using, like for instance, just like so. I'd line my text out there on my grid, or you could not do it if you want to, but we'll just create a nice hard line on the left-hand edge for our design. Okay, with that being said, I feel like we probably need like a little boring navigation up top. So why don't we just open up, I'm gonna sneeze probably here in a second, pardon me. Why don't we just open up a little app that I use called Icon Jar, and why don't we grab a little hamburger menu and just drop it into place. It's nice when you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Maybe just put one in there and then edit the wheel. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, right? I feel like these are a little bit thick, so we're just gonna take the width of these down, and then why don't we just, again, little bit of editing, never hurt anybody. Hamburger menus are literally just, what kind of hamburger menu do you want to make today? And that's the kind we wanted to make, so pretty good. I'm gonna take it out of that complex little layer group that it was in, and I'm gonna stack it right there. I'm also going to take this big text, I'm going to bring it over, shrink it down even more, and let's create kind of some navigation. So I think Discover is a good thing. We're actually already on Discover. Why don't we have like something like deals? That would be a good one. And then maybe this is a website that you could log into. So why don't we go ahead, actually let's do an ellipse, and we'll put an avatar inside of this thing, shall we? I think that could be good. Let's do that. I'm going to fill it with a color so you can see it for a split second. And then I'm going to open up my plugins panel, which you can't see, but let me just get out of the way here. My plugins panel is down here on the very bottom left-hand side. And I'm going to find something. What do I want to do? I'm going to use a plugin called UI Faces. And I'm literally just going to select photos. It's going to find a bunch of photos out on the web, avatars, people. Here's a... Let's see, who do we want to pop in there? Maybe this is a cool looking individual. So we're going to pop that person right in there. And there we go. Now we have an avatar as kind of the star of the show there. All right, let's move that over just a little bit. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to measure here 90 pixels from the left-hand edge. We're going to group these together, and we're going to do something similar, 90 pixels from the right-hand edge. Now we have some areas to kind of work within. Okay, so why don't we just push this over to that same distance on the side there, and we'll discover. And what do we want to do? We probably want to start discovering some different areas. Let's make some cards here. We'll probably make components out of these in a hot second. So I'm going to drop this down to about 10 pixels. Now I have images down here, and we could drag these in and just mask them, but I also have them here on my desktop, and I like to just literally drag them in there and drop them. It's just an easier, nicer experience, in my opinion, for doing the masking thing. So I'm going to take my border off. Don't need the border, and I want to leave a little bit of space because this is going to be our first kind of filtering area. I'm going to do this. This is going to be experiences, and let's bring this way down. We have a color in our palette that we've been using. Let's make sure we put that in our color in our colors in our assets panel. Okay, so we have experiences. Why don't we do something like places, and we'll do another thing like restaurants. Oh my goodness, restaurants, I can't spell at all today. Okay, something like that, and we'll just use our distribution tools. And then why don't we pick a nice off gray color so we can have an inactive kind of state for those. Okay, I'm going to grab those three together and group them together and call it my filter nav. Everybody tracking so far? Okay, we are kind of done with this left bar, so I'm just going to lock it. That way I don't grab it and mess with it at all. That makes me happy. It makes me happy. It makes my heart happy. I can't mess with things. Okay. Let me see, what else do we need to do? So we have our active state here. We're discovering different things, and we're just working with spacing now. Okay, I think probably we're going to do something similar to what we did over here, over in this area. For our big kind of hero image, we are going to literally just copy and paste another version of this on top. So it's like we have two. It's filling it with the image, but we're just going to replace it with black instead. And actually, let's go from a solid color to a gradient, and we'll take black on top with the opacity way down, pure black on the bottom with the opacity pretty high up, and we will just filter that down like so. Okay, now we have you can always put typography on here without really worrying, is it going to be legible, right? That's a That's a good trick, right? Because it's going to ensure that no matter the image, whether it's really light on bottom or really dark on the bottom, you're going to have a little bit more control over it, okay? So why don't we just mess with this again and get even more there. I think that looks pretty good, okay? This is in our experience category, so why don't we do something like road trip USA. That could be like the name of an experience, and we'll just bring the size of this thing down to about 17. Let's go icon jar, open our look for an icon, something like a little location pin drop kind of thing. We got to have something. Don't we have something? No? All right, I'm gonna have to make one from scratch if I can't find the perfect thing. Okay, I think one of these will probably work actually. Let's do, actually, I like this little map kind of guy. This thing's fun. Okay, so we can explore this guy. All right, like where is it in the world is kind of the question that we're going to answer with our little icon. So let's bring this down here, and we'll put Arizona, USA. We need to make it way smaller, and then we probably, yeah, I think probably just way smaller, something like that could work. And this could be a little bit bigger actually, I think, now that I'm looking at it. So let's just group these elements together like that, and then let's grab the whole thing and let's call it a card. Okay, now this is going to be tricky when we mess with this, because when we want to drag images in, it's going to try to drag the image into that top, shape instead of the bottom shape, which is going to be kind of tricky. So we're going to have to mask them from here on out, I think. Okay, but we could really quickly just drag it up above and replace it with another one like that. That's a thing we could do. Keep that in mind. So I also think we want to be able to like favorite this and save it as a favorite of ours. So why don't we use our polygon tool, and we'll just drag a polygon out and choose how many sides we want. Let's make it 5 like a star, and let's round the corners a little bit, and then let's bring the center in just a tad. Let's make it our color. That's going to be a favorite. I'll tell you what, why don't we call this a star, make it a component, and create a second state really quick. This is going to be the white state or the inactive state, like that. That would be not a favorite, and this one would be a favorite. Okay, and then let's just make sure that's inside of our card, and let's create a component out of our card, shall we? And now I'm just going to drag a new version of this over, space it maybe 25 pixels, and let's see, I'm going to go inside, move that up above, and let's just drag something like this in, and this will be kayaking. Let's do this in, where should we do this? Alaska. Ooh, gosh, that would be cold and cool. All right, and that one is not a favorite. Let's do another one. We're just dragging some of these guys around and doing adventures. That could be pretty fun. Okay, and then pretty soon we're gonna do our filtering here in a second. It's gonna come up very fast. How about snorkeling? Let's put the Virgin Islands, something like that. And let's say that's enough. Let's just repeat so we save ourselves a little bit of time, and we can group all of those together and call these card listing. Okay, what do we want to do? Why, we might as well really quickly use our horizontal scrolling, so that when we play our prototype, we can scroll this thing over and back like that. That could be pretty nice. And we could, if we, I don't know if I'm going to like this, but I'm going to extend my handle all the way over to the left-hand side so that everything scrolls behind our hero image over there. I might like that. I might not. I don't know. You tell me in the chat whether or not you like that or not, and then maybe we'll go from there. Somebody says they like the cards. Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad to hear that. Let's see. We could do something else, like one more thing down here. I don't think we'll get too far into it, but let's do like filter by type, something like that. Filter by type, and then you could do some like littler versions of these. Maybe you could even do like some icons. We don't have time for that today. We're just going to do something like that. Filter by type. Let's repeat grid and just make a bunch of them. Okay, so these could be like a bunch of icons for us. that you could kind of tap, select on, and do that. And whenever you have something like this, you always got to have like show all, I think. The ability just to see everything at once. So let's do that. And ooh, you know what? Let's save our color. I really liked our light gray color. I'm liking the color pattern, or excuse me, the color palette that we are using for this project here. I'm into it. Okay, so you got show all down there. This whole thing looks good. Let's just group that together. We don't need that anymore. Let's filter our cards really, really quickly. The scroll doesn't look good, Joshua Davis says. All right, Joshua Davis. Okay, I hear you. Let's go. Let's go back. Okay, I love strong opinions. It makes me happy. It's good critique. So I appreciate that. Okay, let's filter these really quickly. And let's say, you know, we probably really should do a few more of these. So let's actually take it out of the scroll group really quick. Let's do a few more of these. Okay, so I need to make one or two more cards. Let's do this could be like let's see, this could be a balloon race or something, like hot air balloons. Okay, air balloons. We could do this one. What is this one gonna be? I thought I had some dinner shots in here too. Didn't I have dinner shots? Where is the food? There's the food. Okay, we want that for our restaurants, don't we? So let's put that back like that and go here. Let's just, whoa. Let's bring the whole thing over so we can edit these things. Dinner. And with this last one, really quick, we could do places, right? So let's do this beautiful field of flowers right there. Flower field, something like that. Okay, let's bring the whole thing back over into place. And now we have multiple different things we need to filter out. Okay, so with that being said, let's take our card listing and make a component out of it. This is the default state, experiences, right? And we're also going to take our filter nav and we're going to make a component out of it. Its default state is going to be on experiences. So what are experiences and what are not experiences? That's the question. Road trip, kayak, snorkeling. Let's say this one is actually Cayman Islands. So that's not an experience, okay? So we'd want to basically opacity down anything that is not an experience, like flower fields and dinner, not experiences. And then you have hot air balloons, kayaking, and road tripping, something like that, right? Okay. Then we're going to want to make a new state on this one that's going to be places. And all we're going to do is we're going to take these three cards, take the opacity of those. Whoa, I did something wrong there. 2, 3, opacity of those down. Let's bring the opacity of these guys up and see which one of these are places. This was supposed to say Cayman Islands. Okay, so we're going to take this card and move it over into place, something like that. And the flower field also needs to get moved into place. This other one can stay hidden. Last one we need to do is we need to do a new state of restaurants. Okay, so now we're just going to bring these down. And I think it was not the kayaking one. Nah, dinner. Okay, and you could definitely have way more cards, obviously, right? But we want to do the same thing here. Places nav is basically going to turn this one to be pink and this one to be our light gray color. Okay, and then we're going to do one more and we're going to connect these whole thing in a restaurant nav. We're going to connect these things in a combined nested kind of deal. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Let's go active there and let's take this one down to gray. Pretty good. All right, so now we have the different states for our nav up there and we have the different states for these ones here. We're gonna take both of them, we're gonna group them together, and let's go combined nav. We put that in a group up here called combined nav. Okay, let's bring that up to the top. And inside, why don't we also just do some invisible tap points, shall we? I think we should. Take the border off of it. No need. Let's go tap point there, tap point there, and tap point there. We'll call this 1, 2, and 3. and those should all be inside of our combined nav, which we will now turn into a component of its own, right? We have our combined nav component. Pretty cool. Now what we can do is we can go to prototype. Okay, so we have, we're gonna have to have a like a different state for this. Sorry, let's go back. So let's do new state called places. What's the places state gonna look like? Well, it's gonna have the places state from this, and it's going to have, it's gonna be on places there, and it's gonna be on places there. Boom. Let's go back out to that outer component with all of its states. Let's do a new one called restaurants. Okay, I just put rest for short. But what's it going to be made out of? It's going to be made out of these components in their restaurant states, just like so. And then let's go back to default. How do we get to them? We prototype and we select. All right, so we're on our default state here. If I tap on places, I want to auto animate everything over to the places thing. If I'm here and I tap on restaurants, I want to go over to restaurants. Okay, and then let's just really quickly, we'll jump down to our places and we'll go back the other way. Okay, so this should take us back to the default state and we should be good. Let's go back to default. Let's try these really quick. We should be able to go to places and experiences. Places, experiences. How about restaurants? Boom, just like so. We didn't navigate the rest of them, or excuse me, prototype the rest of them, but you get the picture. We're able to jump over and filter things in and out using component states and then nesting those into a more complex component state. Joshua says you can use stacks to make the process easier. That's true. You totally could have used stacks. Just rearrange things as you go. That's definitely a way you could have done it as well. Joshua Davis is confirming that my typography of choice today was Montserrat. That's right. It is Montserrat for sure. Okay, let's see. I think that's all we have time for today. Let's jump over and take a look. I can't wait to see your guys' submissions for this challenge. It's going to be a lot of fun. But let's jump over and take a look at some of yesterday's submissions over on our Discord. This one is from SNDP, and this is their Day 6 animated icons submission. So let's take a look at their fashion website. And they're gonna hover over, just get a little appearance of that tab. Subtle, nice, I like it. What else we got? Got something else coming up, absolutely. We're gonna animate, oh, a little search bar, very nice. This is a really nice layout, very editorial like we were doing the other day. Really slick, really, really clean. The only thing I would say is maybe that search bar doesn't quite match. It's a little in your face. We have a nice kind of like opening and closing side navigation. Really slick, really, really smooth. Great work on this one. I love the colors. I love the palette. I love the simplicity. It's really modern, really, really nice. This one is from Lauren Staneva, who is in our chat today. Laura, come on. I'm excited to see it. Where is our, ooh, and we did get a video. Let's see the video. Oh, that's a nice navigation. Oh, I like, there's components with states, just that slick little underline, very modern. Love the dark interface here. It's really clean, really nice. I love a mega menu with complex and nested kind of like architecture or structure for the menu. I think it's amazing. But I love your vertical typography, simple icon over here or logo. Just beautiful, nice art direction, nice layout, nice animations. Really, really clean, Laura. Man, I want to give you big claps, but I'm just gonna have to give you a golf clap so I don't deafen everybody in the microphone. Let's see if we have any other submissions. This one's from Annie N, and it has a nice little slide in animation. All right, just some enlarging of the icon. Nice, another mega menu. Come on, people were like all on the mega menu trend. I like it. Let's see that intro. Maybe that was like a timed animation. Just slides in, really, really slick. I like it. Different vibe for sure. Love the coloring though. This is from our Day 5 shopping cart design by Chernaski. Let's take a look at this one before we have to get going, which is pretty soon. Just being able to remove all of those different pieces in the shopping cart. Love the pattern, the texture behind the payment info over here, that little topographical map texture. Ooh, I like that. I love the color. It's punchy. It's nice. It's bold. It's unapologetic about what it is. Ooh, it looks good. I love all of these submissions. Let's see, we have time for maybe one more. This is from Shubham Ranjan, who I've seen in the chat in previous days. Hopefully you're here today. Shupon, we're really excited. Oh, got a nice little search button. Okay, very subtle. Everything's very subtle. Got kind of this card, kind of stacked dimensionality look. I'd watch out for those lines coming in from so far away. They could look a little funky, right? Like it looks almost like it's not supposed to be, like it's a mistake. I'd rather see the line kind of appear and slide out really smooth, or appear from here and then shoot in with a little snap animation. I feel like that could be pretty slick. I'd be also really careful about this background texture that you're using. I feel like the whole thing feels, maybe just layout wise, composition wise, it feels a little bit cluttered, and so I'd want to clean the whole thing up. Also, not the hugest fan of this kind of military stamped typography, so maybe think about that. But really, in all, great work. I love all the great work today. Hey everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. Take a look at the schedule really quick. Right before me was 3D and AR with Jay Master. That was a great one, doing some Adobe Dimension stuff. Right after me is Draw Along with Kyle T. Webster, and then at the end of our day is Design Off with Voodoo Val and Tyler Pate. So stick around. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Wednesday. Can't wait to see your submissions. We'll see you right back here for the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. Take it easy.